everything has a little bit of a Mediterranean feel except for the first one. The first one is a Brie, and that's a French cheese. It's very creamy and buttery. A lot of people will eat it cold. It's very good with wine, but we are going to bake it tonight.
Did you bring wine?
I did not. I thought you all were bringing that. Nobody smuggled it in? So this is how your Brie comes. Usually it's in a round. Now, some places you can get larger ones, but at Food City, this is the size you get. So this is what you really want to buy. This is the best size. You can also get it in a large wedge like this, which you can see was cut out of a round, so you can see how large this round was. And then we carry this, which I have not seen before. These are small individual packs, so you can put them in your lunch, or if you wanted to do little individual ones as hors d'oeuvres, so that would be cute too. So, well, this one is a good size if you and your wife, or maybe you all are having another couple over, or just a family of 5, this is a really nice size. Honestly, once you get into it, you're really not going to want to share, you know. So because it's an appetizer, but it's very much like a dessert, you know. So that's why it's nice to have the wine to kind of balance out the sweetness of what we're going to bake with the Brie. Now it looks like there is paper on the outside of this, but this is not paper. This is the actual rind of the cheese. Now I baked some of this for my co-culinary students last year, and my pastry chef teacher, who'd been a pastry chef for 40 years, told me he did not like Brie. And I said, I can't believe you don't like Brie. And he said, I'll try it. So he tried it, and when I sliced another piece for someone else, he said, would you give me another slice, please? So I converted him to a Brie eater because this is so good. If you're afraid of this white that looks like the wrapper, you can scrape it off a little bit, and you can see the inside is kind of yellow. But it's perfectly fine just the way it is. It's up to you. Okay, let me get something out of the refrigerator. We have Food City Pie Crusts. These come individually wrapped. There's 2 in a container. And when you unroll them, of course, they're a big piece like this. And I took mine and just cut a small round piece out. So I'm going to put that down on, and I'm just using a pizza pan. You can use any kind of pan that you like to use in the oven. And I got just the Food City brand of apple pie filling. And I'm just going to dip some of these apples out. You don't need necessarily all the glaze that comes with the apples in the can. And I'm just going to put them in a circular form to go around with the cheese. Now if I was using the rectangular shape, I would just go on the top of the rectangle and just overlap them a little. You don't want too much, but I'll hold this up so you all can see. It almost kind of overlaps like flower petals do, like a rose. If you could imagine a rose made out of apples. Okay, now can you all see that? See? It looks pretty, but it's okay. We can always mush it back. Well, just because we're interested in just covering the cheese itself, we're not interested in making a big pie, you know. So on top of that, I'm going to add walnuts, and these are halves and pieces. Now, if you just want to make one, I'm going to make a couple so everybody has, you know, opportunity to taste. But if you just want to make one, we have them in the little small package like this, and this is the appropriate size. So, and if you want to use another nut, or like one of the gentlemen said that he had a nut allergy, you know, you can leave the nuts off. You know, what if you want to use cherry pie filling? How about blueberry pie filling? You could use anything that you would like. A fruit just gives it a really nice balance. Now, the last thing we're going to put on top of this, which you'll see from your recipe sheet, are these sweetened dried cranberries, which I love. Does anybody else like these? Like just eat them as a snack? And I'm just going to put a handful on the top. And everybody may just get like one cranberry in their bite. Now, where I cut this out of this large sheet of the pie shell, I just put some water. Everybody's patched a place in their pie, right? And I'll just patch that over that. Now, if you're going somewhere really fancy and you want to use the second pie shell, then just go right ahead. But I thought we would go ahead and just show you how to use one package.
Where are those dried cranberries in the store?
They're with the raisins.
Okay.
And the pie shells are over with your crescent rolls and biscuits, cookie dough. The apple pie filling is in the baking aisle, and the Brie is in the specialty cheese case, which is the first thing you hit when you walk through the door. Now, you all won't be too upset if this is not absolutely perfect, right? Yes, you will be upset if it's not absolutely perfect. A phyllo, you could. It's just going to give you a different effect. It's going to puff up a lot more. This is just, the pie crust is just a really nice flavor. Now, I still have a little bit of pie dough left, and I like to cut shapes out of it and put on top because we want it to look a little nice. So this is the piece I had left. When I did this at Christmas, I made it to kind of look like a poinsettia on top, because whatever you cut and score with your knife, it's going to bake that way. So that's like a little leaf. And it's just really simple, little shape. It doesn't have to be perfect. And if you put it on top, that looks nice. So, and if you wanted to do the poinsettia, if you want to decorate during the holidays, let me show you just how to do the center of the flower. So you would just make a bunch of leaves like that. Take just a little bit of your dough, make a little ball, and just put a bunch of little balls. See how I did the center? So you could just put a bunch of little balls and it'll look like a poinsettia. Now, if you're going to do the decoration, I put on there that it was optional if you want to brush this with milk or with an egg wash. That just enhances the look. Really, it doesn't do anything for the flavor. But it will also help these things stick. So if you're going to do decoration, that will help. Let me just put a few more things on top of this and get it in the oven so y'all have that to taste. You could. Whatever fruit you use on the inside, you could certainly use a little dried on the top. Traditionally, when you see a chef do a dish, if you see lemon on the side or you see a piece of sage on the side, what that is trying to communicate to you is that there's lemon in the dish, or that they've used sage as an herb to prepare the meal. So you could do the same thing with this. Put a little dried apple, a little bit of cranberry, and people know there's cranberry on the inside.